The Fox and the Honest Rabbit. Once upon a time, in a dense, lush forest, there lived a clever fox named Felix. Felix was known throughout the forest for his sharp wit and cunning nature. He often tricked other animals to get what he wanted. One day, Felix decided to play a trick on a gentle rabbit named Remy, who lived in a cozy burrow by the river. Remy was an honest and hard-working rabbit who grew the sweetest carrots in the entire forest. He was known for his generosity, often sharing his crops with his neighbors. Felix, being a sly fox, thought he could take advantage of Remy's kindness. One bright morning, Felix approached Remy's burrow with a friendly smile. "Good morning, Remy," he called out cheerfully. Remy poked his head out of his burrow and smiled back. "Good morning, Felix. What brings you here today?" "Oh, nothing much," Felix replied with a grin. "I was just admiring your beautiful carrot garden. I was wondering if I could borrow some carrots for a feast I'm planning." Remy, being the kind rabbit he was, nodded eagerly. "Of course, Felix. Take as many as you need. I'm happy to help." Felix's eyes gleamed with mischief as he filled his bag with Remy's carrots, but instead of a few, he took almost all of them. Remy watched as Felix's bag grew heavier and heavier. "Aren't you taking a bit too much, Felix?" Remy asked cautiously. Felix just laughed. "Don't worry, Remy. I'm sure you'll grow more. You're so good at it." Feeling a bit uneasy, but not wanting to argue, Remy let Felix leave with his bag full of carrots. The next day, Remy's garden looked empty and bare. Remy sighed and decided to plant new seeds, hoping to have a good harvest again soon. Days turned into weeks, and Remy's new carrots began to sprout. He took care of them diligently, watering them every day and making sure they had plenty of sunlight. Just as his garden started to bloom with fresh carrots again, Felix returned. "Hello again, Remy," Felix called out in a sweet voice. "I see your garden has grown back. Could I borrow some more carrots? I promise to pay you back soon." Remy hesitated. Felix had never paid him back for the first batch of carrots, but he didn't want to seem unkind, so he sighed and agreed. "All right, Felix, but please don't take too many." Felix grinned widely and started pulling up Remy's new carrots. Once again, he filled his bag until it was almost overflowing. Remy could only watch as his hard work disappeared into Felix's hands. Days later, as Remy looked at his empty garden once more, he felt sad and frustrated. Why did Felix keep taking his carrots and never give anything back? Remy decided that this time, if Felix returned, he would stand up for himself. Sure enough, a week later, Felix appeared at the entrance of Remy's burrow, smiling innocently. "Good day, Remy. Do you have any carrots to share with me today?" But this time, Remy didn't smile. He looked at Felix seriously and said, "Felix, you've taken so many of my carrots, but you've never paid me back. I work hard to grow them, and it's not fair that you take them all without giving anything in return." Felix was taken aback. He wasn't expecting the usually kind rabbit to speak up. He scratched his head awkwardly. "Well, Remy, I thought you didn't mind. You never said anything before." Remy shook his head. "Just because I didn't say anything doesn't mean it's okay. Friendship should be about giving and sharing, not just taking. You've been using my kindness, Felix." Felix felt a pang of guilt in his chest. For the first time, he realized how selfish he had been. Remy had been nothing but kind to him, and he had taken advantage of it. Felix looked down at his paws, ashamed. "I'm sorry, Remy," Felix said softly. "You're right. I've been unfair. I promise I'll make it up to you." Remy nodded slowly. "If you truly mean it, then I'll forgive you. But remember, trust has to be earned back." Felix spent the next few days working hard to make amends. He brought seeds, water, and even fertilizer to help Remy's garden grow. He stayed by Remy's side, helping him plant new carrots and taking care of the garden. Slowly but surely, Remy's garden began to bloom once more. As they worked together, Felix learned how much effort it took to grow just a single carrot. He realized that Remy's kindness wasn't something to be taken lightly. From then on, Felix never took more than he needed and always made sure to give something back in return. The forest animals noticed the change in Felix. He was no longer the cunning fox who tricked others for his own gain. Instead, he became known as the fox who helped others and shared what he had. Remy and Felix became good friends, and Felix never forgot the lesson Remy had taught him.